So, a lot of people think that as a value investor, one of the things you're going to spend a lot of your time doing is looking at the prices. Some people think that when you wake up, you should be getting your hands on a copy of the Financial Times. You should be putting Bloomberg on the telly and keeping an eye on prices. That is a massive waste of your time, and I don't recommend doing that, because all you're doing is guaranteeing a ride on the emotional roller coaster of hell, and it's completely unnecessary and adds zero value. As a value investor, I'm holding stocks. I'm buying stocks and adding them to my portfolio, and I'm building up a portfolio of assets that I might choose to sell in 20 years' time. I might decide to build a holding business, and for that company to use that money in different ways in some way. I don't know. I haven't thought it all through completely yet, but I essentially am doing what I'm doing for my children and to leave a financial legacy behind, and because I love what I do. Looking at the price today and identifying or seeing straight away that the FTSE's up 3% or the FTSE's down 3%, or this stock is up 4%, or this particular stock has dropped 6% today, it's irrelevant and it's of no value to me, because it will all be different in 20 years' time. And the only reason I would need to look at a price is when I'm buying. If I've got capital available that I want to put to work, then I want to have a look at the price and work out, of the stocks I'm interested in, which of them are priced correctly right now for me to want to get in. And I've analysed 957 stocks from the UK FTSE 100, FTSE 250, small cap, fledgling, AIM markets, and I found 54 companies that I would invest in, and of those 54, currently 12 right now are priced at a level that makes sense to buy at, which means out of 957 stocks that I've analysed, only 12 right now would I buy today. And I'm not always in the position to buy. Every month I generally have some excess or spare capital that I can put to work, and it's only at that moment, when I'm about to put that capital to work, that I need to look at price. If you buy a house, and let's say you buy a 3-bedroom property, well, you're going to be quite focused on price when it comes to buying that property to start with. But once you bought that property, you don't check the price of that property every single day. You're only really going to be interested in the price when it comes to selling that property. But if you've only just bought it, unless you're flipping it in a couple of weeks, really you're probably only going to be interested in the price in 20 years' time, or whenever it is you choose to sell that property one day. And the same should apply to stocks. There's still assets that you've bought, that you've owned. Just because you can get a quote on your stocks on a minute-by-minute basis doesn't mean you should. And my everyday life, I don't spend looking at my stocks or my prices. I don't get stuck behind a screen. In fact, I might only check my positions once a week, which shocks people. And it also disappoints people, which is really interesting. Some people want to feel like a trader. Some people want to have an excuse to buy the Financial Times and sit there and read it. And I know it's kind of sad, but there are people out there that it's about the image. Well, I'm not one to conform to image. I drive a crap car because I only need it to pick up the kids at the weekend. I rarely use it. What's the point in having an expensive car that just sits out there and rusts and rots and depreciates in value it's not a good investment. So I don't invest in cars because they are bad investments. I don't have a big telly because I very rarely watch the telly. So why get a big one? And I'd rather buy books and learn skills on stuff I didn't know anything about than sit there and watch the telly. I'll watch the Formula One, I'll watch the sport sometimes, but I don't need a big telly for that. I don't need a big house. Like, it's just me. Why would I need a big house? I just need a small place that's clean, that I can have a few little things around that I like. I need a picture on this wall. It's a bit too bare. I realised that today. So a nice framed picture going there would be quite nice, or a few. But I don't need this stuff. I don't need all this extra stuff. And so my lifestyle is possibly going to be not what you were expecting. People tend to ask me, do I make my money from my investments? Do I live off my investments? Absolutely not. Even my dividends that I get reinvested back into my portfolio for compounded growth. I would never take money out of my investment portfolio. It would literally go against everything I'm trying to achieve in trying to grow that portfolio to £1,024,867, which is my target by 2042. And I expect to beat that far sooner than that, but it's a conservative target. And so, no, I don't make any money from my investments. I don't take any income from my investments. That's not how I live. How I live is through the work that I do. I research UK stocks, I analyse UK stocks, and I find the best stocks to invest in. I find my 54 stocks that enter onto my watch list. They are handpicked by me, and I have a membership group that pay me a fee every month for access to all my analysis, all my research, all my pricing analysis, and for keeping that all up to date on a regular basis. And I want this show, this kind of fly on the wall vlog series, I suppose, to kind of give an insight into what I do, what it's like to be a long-term investor for UK stocks as a value investor, and to get an insight into what I do as well for my membership and as part of my membership. So how I make my money is essentially through my membership, and I have the privilege of being able to do work that I love doing and make an income doing that. And it's a win-win situation. My clients pay me enough small amounts, but I have enough clients to make that worthwhile for me to be able to dedicate my Monday to Friday to analysing UK stocks and to doing the research and the analysis that they don't necessarily have the time nor the expertise to do. And so they benefit. They pay £57 a month for access to my research and a load of other benefits as well in terms of trainings and chat rooms and all this kind of stuff. And I get the benefit of being able to do what I love and make a living from it. And that's how it operates. And again, this show hopefully will be an insight into how that works and what that's like. And I hope that would add value. So if you feel like this would add value, please like the video, please comment, please say hi. It just gives me an insight into whether or not these videos are a hit or a miss, I suppose. But it's Monday, it's time to get to work. I have a load of things to do. I've got a long list of jobs that need doing on my phone. So Sunday evening, I sit there for maybe half an hour and I plan everything that I want to get done between Monday and Friday. I've tried in the past to use calendars to block out time to do certain jobs and to kind of map out my week. It doesn't work for me. And the reason it doesn't work is, let's say you put a 20-minute phone call in, or you give yourself 20 minutes to get a phone call done, and that phone call turns into a 2-hour long epic phone call that you just never saw coming. That can completely ruin the rest of the week and mess the whole thing up. So I tend to do things differently. This works for me. But essentially what I will do is I will just start off writing out a long list of all the jobs I need to get done in the next week. And this could be personal stuff as well as work stuff, but mostly work. And then Monday morning, I'll get up, have breakfast, have my morning coffee, have a shower, and do all the everyday normal people stuff. And then I'll sit down and I will look at this list and I'll prioritise. What am I going to try and get done today? What's the most important thing to get done? And get it done. Get it out of the way. Get it done first. Get the hardest stuff done first. That way the rest of the week is easier. And so today, just to kind of go through what I actually have to get done today, I need to make some personal phone calls and get some kind of housekeeping, admin sort of stuff done. I need to do my personal finances. It's the first of the month. So every first of the month I will sit down and I will go through my income, my outgoings, my budgets, how much am I putting aside for investments, how much am I saving, all that kind of stuff. I'll be doing that today. That's got to get done today because I'm quite hot on my own personal finances and making sure that they are up to date. I have to pay a rather hefty tax bill to HMRC. 31st of July should have been paid, so I'm a day late, but it's no big deal. So I'll transfer some money across today. That's the job that's got to get done. So yeah, paying your taxes, you've got to do it. I also yesterday jumped ahead of the gun a little bit and spent a little bit of time writing my personal portfolio report. This is a report that I send out to my members that show them all the stocks I own from the 54 that I've handpicked, how many of those, how many shares I own in each of those companies, what I bought them for, what they're worth now, how much profit I've made on them, what dividends I'm getting in from them on a monthly basis. And this is a monthly report that goes out. I got that completed yesterday, got it sent out, so that's done. But another job I want to do is to do a video version of that for my YouTube. I did this in June, and it was relatively, I think it's had about 800 views, which for my videos is decent. It's not great, but it's decent. And it shows that there is some interest there in the results, and so I want to keep that going and do a few more episodes of that and see if there is any interest in that particular video series. So we're going to be doing another one of those for July. We actually had a really good month in July. It went up 10% in value, whereas the FTSE 100 only went up about 3%, I believe. So we did really well there. The hand-picked stocks that I have in my portfolio from the 54 went up in 10% in value, so it was a good month. But it does mean that those stocks are now 10% more expensive, so you know it's a balance. So yeah, we got to do the portfolio video episode. I'm also working on a new show for YouTube that I want to do. I have this idea of doing this Q&A show, and so something that I want to do today is I'm going to write to members of the Sussex Investment Club and invite them in to be part of the show. Invite them in to come and be a part of episode 1, and essentially all it's going to be is like this, but with a microphone, and I'll call them up on the phone and they'll ask questions. I'll answer the questions on the show. I think it would add value. I think it would be of interest. Depends on the questions, depends on the answers, but I like to do experiments. I like to trial stuff out, see how things work out. We're getting a lot of change of sunlight, so apologies if the camera's like the contrast is all over the place. You can't keep, when I haven't got a cameraman, it's impossible to keep up with the changing lighting situation, so not much you can do about that, I'm afraid. It's on automatic settings, but it just doesn't work. So this new Q&A video show on YouTube that I would like to do. So today we're going to send an email out to members and invite them in to be part of that, see if there's any interest whatsoever in doing that. It might be that no one wants to do it, in which case it's going to fall flat on its face and won't even live to see an episode 1, but we'll see how that goes. I like to run these experiments because I would say probably 2 out of every 10 experiments I run work out, and they turn out to be awesome. That's how I ended up writing my books, starting my podcast, starting my YouTube channel. So, you know, there is, when you run lots of different experiments, most of them will fail, but some of them are gold. And that's generally how I like to do things. We've also got, what else have I got to do? I've got some articles that I need to write for the blog. I've got some work that I need to do on the podcast to revamp the whole podcast, get it all organised, because right now it's just a mess. We've got episode number 60 of the Footsie Show to try and get out this week. We've got 3 companies from the 54 stock watch list that are either releasing an annual report or have done so already. I do these deep dive reports that are 3 or 4 pages long as a PDF. And they encompass 10 to 12 years worth of annual report content, where I take all of the guff from the annual reports, get rid of it, and just keep the key information and put it into a 4-page PDF for my members. And they get one of those on every single one of the 54 stocks. That enables them to know in detail how that business is running, how it's performing, what its growth strategy is all about. All my pricing analysis, it just goes deep into that particular company, so you know everything about that company that you really need to know, key information, but that you can read within 3 or 4 pages. And they've been very well received by members. But what we have to do is every time one of these companies then releases a new annual report, those have to be updated. We have to update with new information and what's in the annual report, what information has come out, what have they changed the growth strategy, all that kind of stuff. And so those need updating, and there's 3 of those this week. So that's another task that I'll have to do this week. I've got a couple of books that I like to read. I need to get my hair cut. There's a few little jobs like that need doing. So yeah, that's the week. And we've got a lot to do, and it's time to get started. So it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My entire morning has been taken up by trying to sort phone calls out and trying to sort personal issues and stuff out. I was on hold for an hour and a half to one particular call centre, so yeah, it's kind of hampered my day. And this is another example of why trying to set things up in a calendar, when you put 20 minutes or half an hour aside for a phone call that you think's not going to take any longer than that, when it takes then an hour and a half for someone to pick up the phone on the other end, you're kind of stuffed. So yeah, that's why I operate off this kind of loose script concept. So my next big task now is to get on with my personal finances and get those sorted out, which is what I'm going to be working on now. So managing my income, managing my expenses, doing all my budgets, working out what I'm going to put in investments, working out what I'm going to save, all my budgets, that sort of thing. So that's what I'm going to be working on now. Hopefully this won't take too long, and then I can move on to some other work. Okay, so it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've got my personal finances done now, so I know where I stand when it comes to my budgets, what I've got to spend this month, all this kind of stuff. So that's all done. So personally wise, I've had my phone calls done. I've got all that kind of admin, housekeeping, if you will, all completed. And yeah, my personal finances all completed now. So yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's taken way longer than I was hoping it was going to take. I've also paid the taxes to HMRC. That's done as well. So we've ticked off 3 off the list, which is pretty cool. So the next job then is, I think the most important thing here is going to be other than my haircut, is going to be, because it's in dire need, I'm going to email my members and notify them of the new Q&A show that I'm really hoping to run and start recording probably next week. So we're going to drop an email out to them now and let them know that it's happening, and ask if anybody has any questions they'd like to use to appear on the show. So let's get on with that now. Okay, so we're making progress today now, slowly starting to get some stuff done. So we've got my email now going out to members, titled "I Need Your Help, New Show Idea," and it's basically talking about the fact that we want to do a UK stock market investment Q&A show on YouTube. Also going to go out on the podcast. I feel like a Q&A is kind of probably add some value and be interesting to watch, hopefully. It may fall flat on its ass, but let's give it a try. Let's see what it's like. So really simple system. I'm just going to phone people on the show on their mobile phone. They're going to ask a question, I'll answer it, and then we'll jump straight onto the next call. Hopefully do like 3 or 4 calls in an episode. I think that will probably work out pretty good. Looking to record the first episode on Monday, August the 8th. I feel like that's going to give me the full week to properly prepare for this and get it right. Making calls between a certain hour of the day. And so I'm inviting existing club members to volunteer themselves, essentially, and to drop me their contact telephone number, some of which I already have, but to confirm which number to ring them on. And during the hour on Monday, August the 8th, I will give them a call on the show live, and they can participate and be part of this. And who knows, this might be something that does 100 episodes. It might be something that we only ever see 1 episode. So we don't know. But that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to send this out now and see if we get any volunteers, essentially. I'd like to get 3 people. 4 people would be awesome, I think. We've also got to bear in mind that some people might not actually answer the phone. Because life gets in the way sometimes. But yeah, I think if we had 5 people and we're gearing to call at least 3 of them and we had 2 in reserve, that would make for a decent show. So we're going to give this a try. We're going to send this out, and that's another job ticked off the list, which is awesome because now I'm starting to feel a little bit productive. It's 3 p.m. Yeah, maybe not as productive as I was hoping, but it's the first day of the week. We've got Tuesday to Friday to catch up, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so that's done. That's sent out. That's gone out to essentially just shy of 100 people, and I'm looking for 5. So hopefully we'll get 5 people. I think there'll be a fair percentage of people that won't want to get involved because they don't like the idea of putting themselves online. There'll be people that are just too shy to do it and just don't like the idea of hearing themselves on the phone on the show, which is totally fine. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we can find 5 people that are going to get involved in this and at least get episode 1 up and running. And then further down the line, doesn't always have to be members. It could be people that it could be the 2,500 people who follow me on my email. It could be the 1,500 people that are in my Facebook group. We can reach out to those particular people and see if anyone's interested in getting involved. But to start with, I just wanted to focus on existing members. So yeah, that's cool. So I'm going to make a cup of tea, a well-deserved cup of tea, because it's 3 o'clock. I haven't had one all day, and we're going to take a look and work out what's next on this list as a priority. But we've nailed the phone calls this morning, the personal finances, paid the taxes to HMRC. We've done the personal portfolio report on Sunday last night, and we've emailed members regarding the new Q&A show that we wanted to start doing and recording on Monday next week. So yeah, I'm thinking probably what we're going to start looking at doing is maybe the personal portfolio results video and getting that done and getting that out as well. That might be a good place to get started on for this afternoon before we wrap up for the day, because I'm going out this evening. So that's the plan. In some respects, that's fantastic. To make 10% growth value in just 1 month is fantastic. What it does mean, though, is that the stocks in my portfolio are now 10% more expensive to buy. So you see where I'm coming from, where it can be considered a positive and it can be considered a negative, because some people will look at that and go, well, great, I've made 2,000. Okay, so I have put together the personal portfolio report slides. We did all that and put that together, pumped all the information in there, and then I've just recorded a 20-minute long video for the YouTube channel, just providing commentary on the results of that month for July. And now I need to edit it. It's 4 p.m. So I'm going to edit this video now. That's probably going to take me about half an hour to do. Get that all ready, get that uploaded onto YouTube, and that will be yet another task completed. And I think at that point we'll be getting towards the end of the day, because I don't like to start a job and not finish it. It's a little thing for me. So if I get to sort of 4:30, 4:45, yes, technically I could do 15 minutes of work until 5 p.m. On something and give myself a 15-minute head start for tomorrow. But I'd rather not do that. What I'd rather do is just down tools, finish for the day, start fresh tomorrow, re-look at my list, re-evaluate priorities, which I might do this evening. Sit down and just spend 10 minutes this evening reorganising my priorities for tomorrow, so that tomorrow I can come in and I can smash it and get stuff done. But I'm feeling good. I feel like we've been efficient and got quite a bit done today. So I'm going to crack on with this editing then, and by the end of the day, hopefully we would have ended up ticking off quite a few things off the list. It's 4:45 p.m. I have edited that video that we've done, the personal portfolio report, done a video on that, commentating and providing a summary and everything. That's currently uploading now, and I've scheduled that to release at about 6 p.m. this evening, and so that will go out. And so yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to edit this video and get episode 1 out of this season out as well, and probably schedule that for upload on Tuesday evening. So yeah, we've done pretty well today, really. We did the calls, we got the personal finances done, paid the taxes, emailed members regarding the new Q&A show. I haven't checked to see if I've had any responses from that yet, but it is probably want to wait till this evening before I even bother checking, because a lot of people will be at work and unable to respond. But yeah, I'm not aware of any responses to that as of yet. Got the personal portfolio report done yesterday, so I got a little head start on that. But we've done the video for that today as well. So yeah, I've managed to tick a few things off the list. Tomorrow, my focus is going to be on the updates for those 3 watchlist stocks that are releasing annual reports this week or have done so already, and getting those updates done for our members so that those deep dive reports are completely up to date and everyone knows where they stand with those particular 3 stocks. And that's going to take me best part of the day to get 3 companies updated. Will probably take up most of the day, to be fair, so it won't leave a lot of space to do anything else. If I do get any space, what I will probably focus on doing is looking at the podcast. I think is probably the next best bet. Then Wednesday, I'm going to focus on recording, editing and uploading the Footsie Show episode number 60. So that will be an all-dayer for sure. Recording the Footsie Show pretty much from start to finish takes a day, wipes out an entire working day. Sometimes I can even stay editing and uploading that till 7-8 p.m. in the evening, so it's a long old day. But worth it. I like the show, and I want to persevere with it. I think it's got legs. But yeah, and then we've still got Thursday and Friday then to get anything else done, such as the sector report that I want to produce, start designing that, putting that together, and writing some articles that I want to do for the blog, for the podcast, for just a database of, I guess, how to get started investing, tips, strategies, ideas that I can share through email, through podcasts, through YouTube, all that kind of stuff, all the different mediums. So I'm building a database of articles that aren't fluff, that are of real value, where you read it and think, I've learnt something, you know. So that's what that's all about. And then there's a few books that I want to write and read, and that'll be the week. So at the moment, I would say that this is looking now like I should be able to nail it and get it all done. So I hope it's been insightful as to what I do. Obviously, it's not been very analytical. We've not been doing a lot of analysis on companies. That's going to come tomorrow. But it gives you an insight into how my week is busy enough. So I am fortunate and lucky enough as an individual to have built a membership group of people who pay me to analyse all these stocks. And so that is essentially what I do. And some weeks I am Monday to Friday, analysis all week. That's all I do. And I'm a hermit. I have no social life during those weeks. No one sees me, no one hears from me. I am head down, just analysing stocks. Other weeks it's a bit more practical, and that's partly why I do the YouTube stuff, for my own sanity, so that it's not just analysing stocks, but there's more to it, and gives me a different dynamic. And I love what I do. I'm fortunate enough to be able to work from home. I'm fortunate enough to make a decent living analysing stocks, which I'm more than happy with after spending 30 years of my life in jobs I hated, working for people I didn't respect, in places I didn't want to be, working for people I didn't want to work for, doing work that I had no interest in. Not for me. I'm fortunate enough to be able to write books, to do a YouTube channel, to produce a podcast, to do whatever I want to do. And to me, that's success. I may not drive a Ferrari or anything like that, but to me, being successful is doing what you want to do, and being able to survive and live doing what you want to do. So I feel successful in that respect. I've got my health. I have children that I have a wonderful relationship with. I have a decent enough pad. I don't need anything special. I certainly wouldn't want to be spending money on anything special. I've been there, done that, wasted a lot of money on a big 5-bedroom house, of which most of the rooms were always empty. It made no sense. So I have a small place, but it's mine, and it does everything that I need it to do. So yeah, it's pretty good, and that's how I live. That's how I survive, and So hope it's been a useful insight. Hope that it's been interesting in some way. And if you like this video, do me a massive favour, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. I'm going to adjust this a little bit because we're losing a bit of contrast or some sort of things going on. The sunlight's kicking in. If you've enjoyed the channel, then please subscribe. If you've enjoyed the video, please like it. Please comment and say hi. Let me know you're watching. That interaction with people is really important for me, because it's all well and good producing these videos. It's all well and good seeing people, like hundreds of people are viewing these videos, but it's nice to be able to interact with people and say hi. So if you are watching and you've enjoyed the video, please say hi, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you very much for watching, guys.